Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're live here at VS Gaming, the CSGO Masters, and we are about to get into... And there's a cow coming at me. Okay.
Pick it up and cuddle it, Devin.
I mean, that was literally a moon cow.
Are you Daisy? Are you Stacy? Who are you?
Stacy?
Stacy.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Now only
Stacey
two of
the
us
moon
have
cow.
one, and I think Snare feels a bit left
Can
out.
someone throw Snare a cow?
Someone needs to throw Snare a cow.
Can someone throw Snare a
I
cow?
prefer to be thrown a little person. I like people more than animals.
No, wait, I think one's incoming.
There's
There
one
we go.
incoming. I'm ready. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm glad you didn't drop it, like I did.
I mean, I did have beef lasagna, so I'm happy it's a cow.
That's not very nice. And of course, I guess they're here because we also have an invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's the hell. I mean, we've been told to call them this.
Yeah, we have.
So it's Hellbird. Give me a second now. Come here,
There we go.
It's Hellbird. On the red one, we'll start
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Going
yeah.
across, Hellbird's the red one. I wonder why.
Because your beard is...
Yeah.
Don't like where this is going.
Pretty clear why.
It's Hellbird, and then Recall, and then Snare.
I like the fact that Recall is the one that's just being beaten up.
I mean, it's the story of this event, though, isn't it?
Basically.
Well, I think
Actually-
I'm in the lead. So
Yeah, so you may have not have heard that, but
Yeah.
production friends suggested that that Recall was actually losing the predictions, but in fact he
In
is our
actual fact.
current reigning
leader.
champion of day 2. With Snare got some work to do since there's only one game.
He's ahead on points,
Supreme-
but only because you don't like me.
Supreme
I've
ruler
literally
overlord.
been on your side the entire time, but you keep questioning my scoring, and that's. I mean, I've been clearly biased to you. I mean, look at the little stuffed animals.
Be
They-
more biased. Like, can't you
Fine,
be
have another
biased?
point.
Thank you. Cool.
Did you just give him a free point?
No, he asked nicely for it.
Oh,
Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Production, you can't have 5 points. I sometimes wonder. I feel just think of crazy because I don't know how much you guys can hear, but we have a very active and talkative production team.
Yes.
Hello, Mike. But okay, so right, enough of this.
Enough
of this.
Yes.
Put the cows down.
Oh.
Put the cows down.
The important thing.
Yes, something of importance is happening here, and we're probably chewing up too much of our time. The stream hates us right now.
The stream
We're
does.
sorry, stream. We enjoyed it.
Sorry, Strum.
So, okay. We actually can bang this all off with a suitable smack talk video. Let's get straight into it. Take it away, guys.
Hello and welcome to another edition of VS Gaming's Smack Talk. Here with me,
Wham.
I know I was going to say that.
Oh, you're late.
Well, we have Wham, clearly, and Sent from Bravado Gaming. Now, you guys are the suspected titans of this competition right now, and you're going to be facing each other very shortly in the next round. So I sense that there's quite a bit of something between you two. I'm the mediator. Let me just guide you guys. All right, this is a safe environment, safe space. You can say what you need, what you want. No one's going to judge.
Okay.
Wham?
Yes.
I want you to take it away. I want you to just take it away. Go.
That's okay. I just needed to let Andreas know that obviously from all of the gymming, I think that's the only way that you got some strength in this game.
It's a cool story, bro.
I know. You also need some 6 players, so maybe you get TC to get an extra PC.
Another cool story.
Do you have any stories for yourself? And what's that? A loss or?
No, well, I mean, we've reached our pro bono quota of losing 1 league game the entire year. I think that's maxed out right now, so...
How many rounds you guys take off that one? On your own map?
It's okay. It's 1 game a year.
So you're
Enjoy
going...
it while you can.
Okay. All right. I need you guys just to work with me right now, and we're going to take this out into the metaphorical battlefield just in a moment. I need you guys to just show a little bit of love for each other. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you two. So I'd like you guys to try and just bring it in. All right, bring it in. I'll help you guys.
No, I'll hug him.
Oh,
No,
Okay.
definitely, but I'm a little allergic to orange, so if you can just...
That's fine. What happens is the orange is contagious, so you might just actually want the win as well, so that's okay. Now we'll join. You can join in, just not wait. We're hugging.
Right. So those are two interesting characters.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. That
I'm
was
giving it to
really
Ian.
Can't we go overtime on that?
Why not?
Why not? We've had it enough today already.
You know, I'm surprised we haven't. It probably
Yeah.
is. It probably so, interesting thing about that, though. I mean, I'm sure we all by this stage are pretty familiar with a gentleman by the name of Cent, obviously the Bravado MG owner, and generally very, very highly regarded within our community.
Yeah.
He's literally created one of the finest MGOs. I mean, you know, there's very few that can even hold a candle to that. And he's certainly led by a great example, and he's led his team by a great example. And yeah, I think, to me, a moment that stands out very strongly for the sort of love that his own players have for him is actually the DGL Masters last year, where he was actually called onto the stage when Bravado Gaming won their gold medal, and he was given one himself from one of the players, and it was really beautiful. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, obviously a great guy, and an interesting chap as well. He's always nice, always willing to have a chat with you if you find him around. But the other guy you should know, because that fellow is, of course, Wham,
Yes.
who is a very well-known shoutcaster, obviously been around for quite some time now. And what you may not know about Wham, actually, is that he's recently been picked up as and I have to say this specifically, he's the Energy eSports analyst. So he's helping out the teams and with the statistics and all the boring stuff about the game.
Yeah.
Us play-by-play cast. Are you a play-by-play cast?
No, I'm an analyst.
Right. You're also an analyst.
Well,
I just realised I'm outnumbered here, lads. Can I get some help here? Yes, production friends, can you just send a play-by-play cast on. I've just realised I spent the entire week. Yeah, I've spent the entire weekend with analysts, and I didn't realise how bad it was.
Are you feeling
actually,
the
I
change?
just realized this is like what I do now. This is where
this is basically your life.
This is your life now.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
You have no friends. Sorry.
Welcome to our side of the
I used to
fence.
get to scream about things. Scream loudly, have fun. And I'm stuck with you two.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Right, so anyways, obviously the Wham now quite involved in the statistical side of things.
Yes.
Just, you know, taking not necessarily a coaching role, but more specifically just looking at the match that it plays and you know, helping them out in that regard.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Indian guys have been quite receptive to him. They're quite keen on quite keen on the information that he's been giving them.
Yeah.
But he also gave us some information, and I think we were allowed to talk about some of it.
Some of it, yes.
So Rico, why don't you give us some of the
So
info?
I had a chat to old Mr. Wham, and the first.
wait, before you jump, we're allowed to talk about some now and some before the grand final,
Yes,
right?
yes. So
Okay,
I'm going to touch on a few, just one thing for
Okay.
now. I just asked him because I was quite curious to know how many strats they've been using. Obviously, they look dominating, to say the least, in the games that leading up to this game in the winner bracket, and they said they kind of just haven't. So they've been saving everything for maybe this game, maybe the grand final. Not too sure, but it should be some interesting CS. We're going to see some interesting things from them, according to Wham. Yeah.
No. I think they could afford, up until this point, not necessarily to reveal any of their secrets. Just when you're this dominant skill-wise and you just have a deeper understanding of the game than your opponents, then you don't have to show exactly what you're made of. But against the caliber of opponent they're against now, you're forced to pull it out, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really have a choice but to actually play as hard as you can, as confidently as you can, and with as much depth as you can in the game. You can't just skate by off of superior skills here.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about this team's history. I mean, in the actual Smack Talk video, we noticed Wham mentioning that they had the previous win over Bravado, who claimed it would be their only loss to anyone this year. Pretty bold. Very bold. Of course, what he's referring to is that recently Bravado Gaming did in fact lose to Energy eSports.
Yeah, they lost 2-0, yeah.
But what's once again something to make note of is that this is, of course, a LAN event.
Yes.
And Bravado haven't lost on LAN to Energy.
No.
So this is quite an interesting tussle in the sense that we're seeing two sides that are obviously, these two sides are jostling for the top spot.
Yeah.
You made the comparison earlier, Snare, that one of these sides is going to be M. Bison, one of them is going to be Akuma.
Yes, basically.
And we're going to find out just who's who in this one. So let's get stuck into it in a minute. It's going to be about, less than a minute, in fact, till our map video starts. But I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is going to take this one?
Energy before he says anything.
No, come on, man.
Energy. I'm all in on energy. I think
Recall, I'm deducting a point for being too slow.
Wow. Now we're on. You know, Devon, Mr. Holbeard, may I please have my point back?
I will allow it.
Yes. There we
I will
go.
allow it.
I think I want to say energy. Just recent form. They've been looking really strong. And yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on this one, unfortunately.
one of the things I think as well, which makes me feel more confident about energy, is actually WAM being around. I think it can't be it's kind of understated the role that somebody else additional to your team has on you, like just being able to mold your team, guide you, just keep somebody who can objectively keep a clear head about this type of game that you guys should be playing. And sometimes that help. We see it in every other sport, right? And I think esports is slowly but surely catching up to the idea. I think the majority of professional teams internationally all have coaches, all have analysts, all have like a team of people behind the five players who are actually in the game. So I think that any team that actually has that going for them automatically has an advantage going into any game. And especially given the recent form that they've been in.
Yeah, well, I mean, Map Vita is starting, and Energy's already taken out Inferno, and Train, BBD take out Train.
Right.
Which we've seen Energy play on Train. So.
But we also saw Bravado be
I was gonna
extremely
say,
dominant
isn't
on Train.
Bravado, it's one of their maps too. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that they have no interest in doing it. But we just did get an interesting stat in as well. For those of you who are interested in statistics, like these two analysts. Where's Congo? I need Congo. Ryan, anyone, just... I'll take a Dota cast.
No, we've met our quota for Dota people on this panel. Thanks.
Never.
No, it's never enough.
So, but the interesting stat there is that 55% believe that Bravado Gaming is going to take this one, and that means we're pretty close. I think that's the closest we've gotten.
Yeah.
But certainly, Energy are going to disagree with that and try to make you regret that decision if you voted Bravado.
I would go as far as saying it's probably 52-48 in either team's direction. Like, it's super close to call. And one thing that's very interesting is that both of these teams have extremely deep map pools, and it's on cash.
Wow.
So...
And
we're in for a fight,
hold
guys.
on. Okay, so Bravado's looking good on cash. So this could be, I think it could be, maybe just slightly, map pick in BBD's favor.
I would agree with that.
So that's changed
But
your
also,
opinion.
no, I'm not going to change my opinion because I have some inside information, so I'm just going to keep quiet. That I'm only allowed to speak about tomorrow.
Rico's on the inside
So nice
track.
when we know things that other
I
people
know,
don't,
right? It's exciting.
It's a very rare feeling.
Apparently for me.
In fact, you know,
how to predict.
you say this in jest, but I was going to refer you to the points and the fact that Marshmallow is up there right now.
Wait, hold on. No, I think we're both above Marshmallow now. Because Marshmallow only has
Marshmallow,
one.
you get 50 points. You guys have work to do with 3 games.
Wow.
I'm going to want to know
with 2 games
what
left.
pistols people are going to pick up. And Quasi says.
Hold on, wait. I know that 4 people are going to, at least 4 people from both teams will pick up a USPS in the first round.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, yeah.
Wow.
I know. And maybe the first buy round, we're going to see a couple of M4s, a couple of AKs, and an AWP.
We might see a flash maybe on round 2.
Yeah, and a Molotov. Those things work well, apparently.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That sounds
pretty good.
That sounds out there, guys. I mean,
burn, baby, burn sort of thing, you know?
But seriously, though, I think this is honestly, every other game that we've seen today, or especially today, has been extremely close, although we all had our own predictions, right? But genuinely, this is the only one that is legitimately too close to ever call.
Yeah.
You can never really call Energy versus Bravado, regardless of the current form that either team is in, just because of the history that they have. So they know what they do, they know what to expect from one another, but what will happen in game, I'm pretty sure both of them want to win. They both have 95% expectation of winning this game. Yeah. So as a result, nobody knows. So
did you say that you think both sides have believe with like 90% that they're going to win this game?
Yeah, I think so.
Why not 100%?
Because anything can happen. Because it's respect. Like, if it was 100, you wouldn't be respecting your opponent. But you have to show some level of respect and be like, all right, they could beat us.
This is Energy versus Bravado. I think that doesn't make matter really.
I don't know. Like, I feel like CS is it's a much more respectful game. Like, I come from a land of salt, so I'm happy to see that.
Well, I think anything to do with CS or Dota, you come from a land of salt.
Yeah, that's true. that's just my life, man.
I mean, I guarantee you, and this is one of the things I think is really special with being at these events, and hopefully in the near future guys will be able to join us at these events, and you know, well, maybe I know it to be so, but who knows, maybe I just know something that you don't. But I think one of the best parts about being here is actually getting to hear or seeing and hearing the reactions firsthand of these players, and I guarantee you that those are not going to be quiet booths. There's not going to be friendly banter. Good day, sir. I hope you have a fantastic map. Best of luck with that orb. No.
Not going to happen.
There's going to be
Colorful language that we're not allowed to use on stream.
Yeah, we'll probably have to turn off all the mics around here. It's a good thing the casting room is far away.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Although I must say, I'm quite keen to get to those casters because this is a game that we've all been waiting for. But I think Bravado at the moment just busy in a bit of a team talk.
We'll see them on stream there.
But you kind of need to do this. Like it's this is also one of the powerful things about being online is when you're talking to your team in person. There's a huge difference in terms of your camaraderie when you're in each other's faces rather than hearing one another's voices. So they're all in the room. They're like, okay, guys, they know each other, but you always have to give each other that little reminder that we are a team. We are the best team. And then obviously the Energy is saying they're the best team, but you have to remind yourself of this. You have to believe it before you even get into the game. It doesn't really help only figuring this out after you've won a couple of rounds. You have to already have imagined yourself winning the game before you even begin it, especially against juggernauts of this. So especially if you want to be Akuma. So being Akuma, you got to bring out those secrets, man.
But I think as well, with two teams that have played each other quite often in recent times, you need to come and bring, especially to a LAN, you need to bring a fresh outlook on how you take maps.
Yeah, and of course, as mentioned, Cash going to be that map. I think Cash has probably also been one of the very exciting maps we've seen. Just a lot of really great stuff has happened. I mean, it's been a great tournament in general, but it actually excited me when we got the Cash pick because I know this may sound weird, maybe a little left field, but it seems like a fair map. Like, you know, everyone kind of knows it.
Yeah.
You're going to see both these sides being fairly comfortable in it. And bear in mind, the winner of this matchup goes into the grand final. They've only had to play 3 maps, so huge advantage being rested in its own right. And of course, it means that you go into the grand final with a one-game advantage. So it's absolutely huge. You're playing a BO3 and your opponent's playing a BO5 with 1 game down. You know?
It's a sort of a mini final before the grand final of sorts.
It's a massive advantage, and I think in this kind of environment, I would not hesitate to say that the team who wins this game may just win the entire event because. You know, 1 game up against either of these sides, anyone would take it. Anyone in South Africa would be.
It is a big advantage. You know, you're going in there already knowing. I was actually speaking to Snare about it a little earlier this morning, saying that the team can go in that has them at 1 map advantage already. They can go and try something new. If they lose the first map, well, then it's just a best of 3. Yeah. You know, so it allows the team going through the winner bracket to go in with a lot more confidence, knowing that they can. You know, try something new, try something different, try and throw their opponents off. And, it's going to be good.
It is going to be good, and I think it's about time, guys. So let's watch the best 2 teams in South Africa, Bravado Gaming versus Energy eSports. And that's going to be done casted by Congo and Goals. Gentlemen, I'm jealous. Enjoy, friends.
This is quite exciting. Yeah. You know, Bravado Energy, the 2 titans of CSGO historically, and we're definitely in for a treat here, Carl.
Yeah. Well, if you are just tuning in, welcome back to the VS Gaming Masters. And it's Bravado versus Energy, as Devin said. They struggled a little bit on. It's getting a little bit tired there. It's been a long day for the desk. But, I mean, we pretty much waited for this the whole day. That's why we woke up this morning. We had to get through a whole of other games first. No, I'm just kidding. All the games were great today. But Energy versus Bravado in the winner bracket final. It's going to be the knife here to see who gets the side, since we are back to the best of 1 format. And it looks like a pretty quick stab going out by Energy eSports. Wrong shoes in this club, say Energy, and take out Bravado with those knives. I don't know what part of Joburg that would be in, but yeah, we are going to get going. They're going to stay on CT side. And, of course, your thoughts on that, Goals?
Well, I mean, you know, this is going to be such an epic match. You know, even on Cash, it's you know, BVD's best map, and Energy have, you know, decided to let it through and play them on it. And I'm really, really keen to see who wins. And you know, I can't even call it at this point. It's 2 really, really well practiced sides. And you know, even though the winner for me is uncertain, what I can tell you is that this will be the best CS that we have seen in South Africa to date. So the only time that'll be topped, I'm sure, is going to be tomorrow. So
someone dropped the easy tag there on the wall, running up to upper B. But I don't 100% agree, but I look at this aggression coming out from Energy Esports immediately on the B bomb
man.
side, and this is a lot of information, but I kind of want to think that this A breach coming out now might be in a little bit of trouble. Black Poison has to hold his own here on Forklift. He's going to spot out Dead20 first, looking for the shot, brings him down, and this is big. First frag there for him, but he gets answered immediately by Fady. But that kind of aggression coming out from Energy Esports on B is not really working out for them right now, as they've got to get back into the site, look for the retake as well. But nice pick there from Domster. Opens up one, Flexi goes down as well, but now barreling onto the site too. Energy Esports trying to get this defuse back down. They have got a kit in the hands of Connie, and now JT left alive. I think he can safely go for the defuse here. Got a couple of players watching. They hear the door open, and there they go. Domster takes him down. And Energy, look at the celebrations in the booth already, just on the first round goals.
Yeah, look, that was a huge gamble by Energy. I mean, they sent 4 guys quickly pushing through B, and normally you take that push kind of slow, expecting someone to be there, and they managed to push all the way through to a main so quickly that as Bravado decided to think about it, then they ended up getting caught off guard in main, indoor, and they landed up converting the pistol round. So well played, Energy Esports.
Well, I'm going to go for a couple of SMGs, 2 UMPs, 2 from us, and of course the M4A4. And now I guess it's back to basics as Bravado actually go for a nice second round buy. Look at that, Galil in the hands of JT, body armor 2, and just Tech 9s and a P250. Bravado wanting to commit, but Black Poison is in a pretty decent spot here, sneaking back through the smoke.
Yeah, Black Poison going there, just looking for some information, checking that they're not all, stacking up towards that A main side. So he managed to get a little bit of info, but Bravado seems to be moving towards that A main section as well, and there's no sort of rotation from mid or B.
Yeah, and I'd half expect as this game goes on, Bravado might look to punish that mid control. Looking for Speedway. Sonic has always been so strong on that Speedway.
But lovely from Black Poison. He's playing on such an off angle, yeah. Oh, he gets
peeked immediately, and this is looking like a great round coming out for Bravado Gaming as they get 3 onto the site immediately, but it answered there. Domster steps out, and this is the man who, when he's firing, it becomes extremely scary for opposition teams. And he's going to be joined by Flexi here. Going to spot out one more. That's the bomb carrier down, but Fady's there to bring him out. And now Domster with body armor against Fady, who's got quite a bit of utility as well. Goals, got 2 flashbangs.
Very low, and just any sort of bullet will actually take him down. Flexi not stepping, very, very, very nice there. He's reading Fady. Still going with the fake.
Oh, and Fady!
Yo. Insane shot there from Fady.
14 HP clutch this early in the game. All right, I mean, you did say this is probably going to be some of the best CS we've ever seen, and they're right at his second round. Bravado bring it back, but now Energy have something to think for. A lot less excited after that round. You saw
definitely
the booth nearly rocked over when they won that first round.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure the same thing happened when Bravado took it back. But I mean, they've also got pistols now, and let's see if they can do. We're
going to have a game of eco upsets. We've had a whole 2 days of eco upsets. Now we're going to have an entire game.
I would not be surprised. These guys have got everything to play for. Yes, so it's going to be a really, really good and close game.
Well, we'll see Domster still looking a little bit of information here, trying to just jump above the smoke. And of course, I always find these first few rounds really interesting because, looking at it, it comes down to a lot of teamwork and raw skill. I mean, once you get the guns and rifles out, it changes a lot. Then the kind of the team dynamic comes in. But when you're looking at anti-ecos, if you're not playing together as a team, you're looking at a player's just absolute raw skill with that pistol. And Tuckball looking for information in A main right now. Going to dance back in, similar to what Black Poison did in the previous round. And you pointed that out, actually. Black Poison had a really good angle, but just couldn't capitalize. And they answered really quickly. And that was the body armor coming out there.
Definitely. It helped them, be able to breach the sites and get through and take contact to those players and had some success. And they seem to be drifting towards that exact same, A main take that they've just done. They've established the default.
Yeah.
And now they're going to group up and just move somewhere as a unit. And, this is probably the best idea for Nancy.
Yeah. Tuckbook on the forklift, trying to dance his way around there. Smokes come out, blocking them off. Nice little push from JT there, but he's getting dinked up all the way from cars. Energy Esports try and move in. They do trade up 1-for-1 right now. They've just got upgraded pistols for the time being, but they are going to try and get onto this site with pace at the moment. Flash banged out, Black Poison leading the charge. One person behind Steel as well, but that could be the crucial play right there from Domster. Literally answers, brings him down. They're trying to charge him in. Fady goes down as well. And we feared the eco upset, the continuous eco upset. But look at that, Sonic getting dinked real hard behind there. Does eventually trade the frag out. Now Domster left alone, but Detrony is the one who dodges and dives throughout the site, manages to stay alive and takes down Domster.
Yeah, that was a really, really tight round there. I mean, very, very well played by Black Boys, and he manages to sneak in the sides, pick off the guy in the sides, and then move all the way around still. And while that guy's peeking, you know, he gets caught from behind, and he even dinks the guy forklift. And you know, had he actually, you know, converted that kill, I think it could have gone the other way. So really, really close there. But unfortunately, they got a save now, potentially twice.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, BVD already with two T rounds on the board.
It was a bit of a gamble there they had to take, obviously, to try to see if they can get those pistols. Not a lot of economic damage done to Bravado Gaming, because they did get double bomb plants, and a lot of them had SMGs in the second round. So now I think they slow down the pace a little bit here. Domster's got that forward position once again, and he doesn't want to peek just yet. Sonic, though, coming out the door, picks up 2, goes for the 3rd as well, whips out the pistol. Going to get answered immediately by Flexi, but Domster now has to take out a pistol battle here with Detrony. Turns around once again and opting for that pistol instead of the AK-47, interestingly enough.
And you can see that they're just drifting back as Chates is already cleared all the way through CT, and
yeah,
you know, he's going to find himself in a rather aggressive position. I mean, he's got the MAC-10, so he wants to hunt, he wants to take the contact first and farm that cash. So BVD rotating all the way around to B, and yeah, securing the bomb site, and now they're probably just going to send JT out to farm.
Nice little cinematic pan out there just to see the bomb go down. And I think this is just going to be a little bit of a recoup now for Energy Esports. They picked up 1 gun, so now just a little bit of a chat going on. Don't see some of the players being a little bit vocal there. Black Poison and Tuckbook chatting. And they do need to make a plan. Obviously, they will have to possibly save just 1 more. And JT wants to hunt them down there with the MAC-10. And he will find Flexi, and will find Cannibalistic as well. So now just back to the drawing board for Energy Esports. And do they decide here with their cash? Do they go for the buy? They've got 4,700 pretty much all around there. That's going to be a rifle buy coming out for them. Are you looking for someone?
Just want to bring up the scoreboard.
It's a bit of a bug. No problem. Okay, well, we'll see. A somewhat healthy buy coming out for Energy Esports here, and they actually didn't go for the double save. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, they won't get there. But again, aggressive forward play coming out from Energy Esports. Look at this control on the B bomb cycles.
Yeah, look, they're taking a nice deep smoke there. They've got all the information on and Bravado, but they're also just defaulting it up. You know, looking at taking that mid control, which is very, very important on this map. So establishing that early on.
Well, JT's made his way into middle. Somewhat negated at the moment by Energy Esports, as they're looking to put pressure on the sites instead. Another smoke comes out, and they're still holding off middle here. Black Poison forced all the way back, but it looks like a little bit of emphasis on B. They got 2 players. They got Black Poison here on flex, but as I said earlier, Sonic on that highway managed to pick down Tuckbook, and that's always the problem with giving up the highway and giving up that middle.
What I really like here is that energy of just pretty much retake on A, and Bravado though breaching the B side.
Nice flashbang coming out there. Really good flashbang, but he flashes himself. Flexi. Oh, she might have got flashed by one of the Bravado players. Spots 1 man at headbox. That's going to be taken down immediately there. Black Poison down as well through mid, trying to get that rotate in, playing that flex position in the middle, and another pretty well executed T-round here from Bravado Gaming.
Yeah, you know, as soon as Sonic gets that pick and they start moving towards the B side, I mean, Energy were already holding for the A retake, and they had a feeling that it was going to be B, but they pick off the guy in sight, and unfortunately, as Flexi wants to flash for himself, you know, his teammates are probably calling in the support flashes, and you know, he's unable to step because he knows those are coming in, and it kind of puts him in an awkward position, and he lands up getting wrapped all the way from elusive around the headshot area, and it's just unfortunate.
Detrony was looking for him, but Cannibalistic heard him running. Now the rest of Bravado are coming in for it. And they have to try to catch him out. They spot him and they kill him eventually. And Cannibalistic visibly upset there. The closest to our cam. And lose out on his rifle. And now the last bonus starts kicking in. It's really, really strong Bravado T side coming out here up against, you know, an early kind of shake from Energy Esports.
Yeah, look, I mean, that was the first gun round, so, you know, Bravado establishing that mid-control and eventually, you know, coming back towards the site, and it's you know, they've started off well here, but, I mean, let's wait until Energy can perhaps get that AWP up and really try and defend the middle areas and you know, on the bomb site.
We'll pop flashing for Elusive. He knows Energy have been playing this aggressive, and there it is, Domster opens up with the 1D, shuts down Elusive, and that's the... and that's not enough information just yet. They might be able to scoop up that rifle any second, but JT's covering it for the time being. Wants to make sure no one can grab that up. Smoke does come out. And Domster, Kenny actually wants another 1 deek for him, or wants a 1 deek for himself here. He knows Elusive is around there. Oh, he just misses.
Oh no, and he pays for it. Can't believe it.
Oh, unlucky there for Cannibalistic. Not being able to bring it down, but JT's still covering this gun. I think this is the strat right now. Screw the bomb sites, just defend the gun.
But I mean, you can see Energy Esports started off with a complete stack there on the B side.
Yeah.
But now that they got the pick, they can fall all the way back, and they're kind of actually just gambling on the fact that they won't head towards B. But JT's actually clearing it out now, and I think we might, after he gets that information, but he's not looking for it. No, he's returning back to his teammates. So Bravado looking like they're going on a stacked pistol site here.
This could be tough, yeah. Upgraded pistols as well, 2 Deagles, 2 Deagles at P250 and a 5.7 as well in the hands of Black Poison. That could be pretty dangerous. We saw what he did in that first round, or the second round as well. Wrapping around there, getting those frags. Even though they lost it, they were still really, really close. Look at all the mollies coming through here. And he's actually flashed out immediately. Won't be able to get those frags. And we catch the bomb carrier. Nope, won't be able to get him either. And just Domster left alive here with the Desert Eagle. And the next gun round has to be so important. And I think you're pretty right about that AWP. They need to put it somewhere where they can possibly continue to deal with middle. If they have that one player playing from white box, as well as keeping an eye on Speedway, that might count for something at least. And Domster gets 2 frags to Desert Eagle, but it's not going to be enough to bring that round home for Energy Esports. That moment right there.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's very, very unfortunate there for Cannibalistic. But, now here comes the full buy from the CTs. I mean, they've got all the utility. They've got the double AWP setup coming out here, and, BVD sticking with those AK and utility. But, I mean, they do have a lot of cash to come this round and potentially get an AWP at a later stage. But, I mean, I'm interested to see. I imagine some sort of door aggression will go down and also just a post on the B side.
Yeah, Flexi this time not wanting to give up that middles too easily. They do get the molly out early on to push back Bravado Gaming, but this AWP has to count for something here right now. With Cannibalistic on the B bomb side, they managed to do it with the Deagle, so I'm pretty certain Cannibalistic can do it, but he looks away at the wrong time. Oh, switches up positions, but he does go for the initial peek there up against Fady. And we'll get Fady. What a quick shot there from Cannibalistic. He now has to change positions up once again.
It was really nice awareness there from him. I mean, he knew that eventually if they're going to smoke the cross smoke, he won't be able to do anything from that angle, and there might be a T waiting for him. So he does it. He changes angle beforehand and manages to get the upper hand on Fady. So, really, really good play by him.
Much better round coming out here from Energy Esports as they retain all 5 lives and a lot of equipment too, and of course the double AWP, which is probably the most important thing. Up against Bravado with 2 AK-47s, they are looking for a little bit of information here, and if there are 2 players that can clutch 2v5, I'm going to go ahead and say it's Elusive and Sonic. Elusive with the mine, Sonic with the gun.
That's it.
Except when that happens with Black Poison, that's what I talked about. That's that Sonic highway play often catches a lot of players off guard, even the AWPers. Not this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, Black Poison really, really strong with that AWP. So, it's going to be a tough one to kill with the AK. But I mean, I suspect that Bravado will most definitely pull out an AWP of their own the following round.
Oh, so quick there.
Another peak.
So
and then
quick.
you take that gun round, and let's hope we don't have the reset curse apply once again.
Yeah.
But really solid round there. I'd really be surprised if they don't pick up an AWP.
Yeah, definitely not. I kind of expect. I mean, you played with this team. You've actually played with a lot of these players, or more so the Bravado guys, obviously. But I mean, you kind of read it immediately. You say, AWP's coming. Because I would have been probably in the comms. It's like, get that AWP, Demi. Challenge them. Challenge Canny. Challenge Black Poison as best as possible. And now Canny moving over to the middle side as well. Going to try shut down that little boost box there in mid. And, besides that one round where they pushed Sonic up through highway, through middle, there hasn't really been a lot of emphasis on middle. There hasn't been like an early boost.
A fast commit towards towards middle.
They got picked off. Sorry to interrupt you, but they did get picked off going middle in the previous round by Domster and Flexi. So let me point that out before I get called out for that.
Well, but yeah, it's a very, very standard default coming out here from Bravado, and they're just kind of waiting for any sort of aggression. And Energy don't seem to be interested in going for that. So as the time goes on, Bravado need to start heading towards the site.
I like that position that I think it is on A bomb side. It's Tuckbook, playing that close angle next to the door. That gives him a lot of crossfire potential with Black Poison. And usually, when you're not smoked off like that, it usually puts you in a really, really good position. Oh, nice little money there. They might have heard that tick to push Sonic back off the door. Obviously, the smoke came out from there too.
Definitely, and they're committing to the A bomb sites. And Bravado are loving this execute that they'll end up doing. They flash off steal each side. They don't manage to get the pick though.
Black Poison though, he's going to play this round the smoke once again. Try to pick off at least one more player. But Detrony's there. Detrony gets the upper hand on him with the AWP. Goes for the second, not be able to capitalize on Dumpster. I would say the superstar for Energy Esports right now, but as I say, that cost Curse gets brought down. And
Sonic with the triple.
oh, what a flash as well, though. Cannibalistic was blind for days there.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is the standard execute, coming out from BBD. They literally just smoke both sides of the entrances, and then they have, proper flashes popping as they're about to breach, and then as they're running in there, they're throwing a flash off steel that's hitting the back of the site, and anyone that tries to contest it, they'll end up getting blind. So it's quite a solid execution they've got going there, and it's catching the Energy guys, and Sonic with a nice little triple repeat there from Forklift and getting all the frags, but off of a very, very nice pop flash.
Well, Energy needs something right now. They pushed back onto that eco, playing a little bit aggressive indoor. Sonic's there to deal with them, though, no problem. Couple of taps here and there, sorts it out once and for all. And also on B, just numbers being thrown at Bravado at the moment, trying to get this round over and done with so they can get that. And, we said it, the reset curse, and well, we got it. We should really stop mentioning it. Because it's oh.
Yeah, I mean, BVD just waiting out for all these sort of pushes and Energy trying to get an advantage of sorts, and unfortunately, they've got the AK, so they have the advantage, and they've secured another round, and 7 rounds to 2 on the T side. It's really looking pretty good for Bravado, and Sonic having an amazing game is always a scary thought to consider. Yeah,
Tuckbook and Flexi yet to come online this game. It's been a pretty slow start, but as expected, Dumpster right on top there, 10 for 7. Always just any team I've ever seen Dumpster play, and he's just always been such a stable player. Just does what he needs to do, gets out. Nice little boost up there onto mid, and once again, Bravado putting that emphasis down. Take that control, but this is, this is a bit of a risky one. They flashed themselves. Oh, he spots the boost, gets them both.
Both of them.
Wow. You're not going to get away doing that too, Elusive. I'm sorry. You're not going to get away with that.
Yeah, specifically outside of the B bomb side here. I mean, he's always outside there waiting for the pushes, and he's really, really strong in that position. And he shows us a good case of that right there.
3 players, in fact, down from Energy Esports already. There was that 2 spray down, and then the middle one as well. Sorry, on A, taken out as well. The push into A main, and something that would work against any other team. But Bravado, they just keep those angles. They half expected it, I think. We saw that coming out there into that A main push.
But I mean, how structured is this? This is beautiful to see. I mean, they've got 3 picks, and they're all still just holding default, waiting for some sort of advantage attempts, from Energy to try and regain that advantage, and they're just not giving it to them. And they're moving slowly. They're using the time on the clock, and eventually they're making the right decisions based on the info. So, yeah, it's good to see when they're far ahead in the rounds and in the frags in the specific round.
Still maintaining that composure. And JT wants frag, so he's going to go do a little bit of hunting here. Still with 5 players alive. I mean, nothing really to lose here. Spots ahead, and oh my god, how? Tuckbook though wants to challenge him as well. Not going to get it. JT just cleans up 2. And this is looking like a scary game right now for Energy Esports. Look at that. Just doesn't miss those.
No, that was a little bit of a gift there. I mean, with his angle that he was holding at that time, it was just very, very unfortunate in terms of the timing for Energy. But a really cool idea there to boost over the smoke and just hold the angle and pick off anyone that's posting it.
It was a good attempt, at least. Yeah, the right idea, but
never
just
seen that before that way.
Yeah, I'd say the right idea, but obviously they just saw his head pop up there and it was immediately just murdered. No problem. But Energy do need something now. They got to dig deep into the toy box and pull out something.
And
at the moment,
they're pushing on that B side, and Yusuf's even playing further back, just waiting to punish them for this aggression.
This could be a nice push out there from Tuckbook, but second or third time he's tried that push into A main and being brought down. Black Poison goes down as well. Stompster and Flexi left alive here from that B bomb side. And all really left to do is bring it answered immediately. And that's the great thing about this. Bravado are not allowing Energy to punish them with pistols. Except for Detrony. We'll give away an AK-47. But JT with 1 HP is there to... I don't
just
believe
convert it.
Yeah. Easy trade coming out there. Obviously, the aim punch coming out with that armor. But now Energy still, I feel like they've put themselves onto this kind of tornado of just bad economy. And it just looks like they're just never able to get a really, really good, strong buyout. And, Black Poison going for the naked AWP as well. It's
really, really tough to do if you don't win, a consistent few rounds to build some sort of economy. So I don't think that they're in too much trouble just yet, but this round is extremely important. I think if they can get this round in the next few, I think they'll be happy going into the T side. So, I mean, they've got the AWP posting on B. And Bravado are probably going to just wait out there. Don't have much utility on the side of Energy, so it's going to have to be some sort of gamble, at some point to try and get information or get that advantage.
Well, Dumpster's playing pretty forward out there in B. Obviously, Elusive has been the kind of anchor there for Bravado at the moment, just holding off the pushes from B, shutting down anything Energy try, but not there this time. Rather, it's JT dancing around as they do kind of slow it down once again, showing that composure, that BMT here. But Energy doing pretty much the same, posting up those positions. We haven't seen anything else other than that little push coming out from Dumpster to AWP, just hanging out. Sonic, though, also been doing well. If he's not in highway, he's the door, just causing so many issues for Energy eSports.
Yeah, see, Bravado have actually thrown the cross smoke, pushing Black Poison back into the site, not having that information as to whether Bravado or B side, but I mean they look like they are rotating towards A and have got a good idea that they're coming there. So another execute on A from Bravado. It's been successful, but I mean let's see how it goes now.
Well, they haven't got that smoke to cross now firstly, but Penny Ballistic doing so well the back there with the AWP. Picks up one. Can't get the second, unfortunately. That's in the side for Tuckbook, but does get traded out immediately. Flexi's there. Sound like Elusive too, and Sonic Brown Forklift is what he's doing best right now. The last man alive up against 3, and I want to say this is winnable for him. He's in a pretty good position, right? If he can pick this guy to his left, no, sorry. Yeah, to spot the guy to his left to make that one work. He could have picked the guy on the side, left, and then made it, but not today for Sonic and Energy. They steal around goals. It's not going to happen.
That was really nice, and what I enjoyed there was as JT was falling back and they started breaching towards A. Early in the round, they boosted Dumpster into the vents, and that where Black Poison couldn't hold the angle, he still had the support.
Yeah.
And while JT was running back, he heard him, and he managed to pick him off at the vents, allowing completely disrupting the flank. And if you looked at where all the Energy players, it was on that highway position, so the flank was a very, very important part of that round, and he couldn't get to his he got picked off, so it landed up being a slightly weakened execute, and they managed to get the round. But I think if there was any round more important than the last one, it's this one.
Yep. We have to wait and see Energy. Can they hold off another gun versus gun round up against Bravado Gaming with the power behind it? Dumpster, though, burning alive here. Needs to get out. He's being sprayed through the gap as well. Dances across, and the team tag there coming out. But Connie does go down in middle, I think that was. Gets brought down against JT. And now Fady takes down Black Poison, too. That's the AWP down on B. So massive play there, and that's going to be a struggle now because they don't have that anchor on B. They don't have actually pretty much anyone on B. JT's coming through vents. I lie, Dumpster's back there, but look at his HP, 12. Up against that AK-47. If JT as much as catches a sniff of Dumpster, he's going to blow his head right off. And of course, Tuckbook, once again, going to face off against Sonic. I feel like this is a recurring theme right now, these two players facing off on that A-bomb side. Dumpster still just hiding. And I think they might have assumed that he fell back, and it could actually work out really well for him, and it does. Goes for the first, gets the second. 12 HP clutches from Dumpster. Gets the information, but it's just not enough. Wasn't much support there as he does get brought down. Very
aggressive player by Fady, but he pulls back. I'm pretty sure Elusive was moaning there, telling him to come back, play discipline. So it's like walking a 1v3, and it's going to be a very, very tough retake. I imagine he's going to actually save this and just try and get something, because I mean next round, they've been reset, so they're going to need to eco twice if they want to do anything. And there's only 2 rounds left, so they're going to have to force by next round. So you can hold him to this gun, it's important, and they are chasing him down for it.
He's just picking them off one by one. Sonic on 14 HP, and I think he pretty much knows where Sonic is. If he's not door, he's highway. But Tuckbook's going to pull out the pistol instead. But yeah, it happened again, goals. It happened again. We didn't even say it this time, but it happened again.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. We hate being right, put it that way. For the sake of interesting Counter-Strike, we hate being right. But this is it right here. Dumpster, yeah, he couldn't really do much else than that. He had 12 HP, he got the first 2 picks, and it's unfortunately with Black Poison going down so early on the site, there wasn't really much.
Yeah, they gave away 2 very early picks at the start, and it's extremely difficult to play, especially with how Bravado playing so structured. And once they identified that there was in fact a player on A, they kind of took a 2v5 on Sonic, fell straight back, and they went together and breached. Unfortunately, it was very difficult for them to hold.
Well, Energy are going to have probably the most amazing T side of their life if they want to take this game and send Bravado to the low bracket. Something that hasn't happened in the last few tournaments. I can't remember the last time Bravado found themselves in the low bracket early on. Rage last year? Was it Rage last year? I can't remember. But anyway, it's been a long time, put it that way. It's been a long time since Bravado been in the low bracket. But at the moment, it looks like they're sitting pretty strong up here, 10-3. If you're just tuning in, this VS Gaming Masters, this is a winner bracket final. It's only a best of 1. as these two players take it slow right now. Nice little pop flash out there from door by Sonic. Get mollied back and with the door closed. Oh, needs to be careful there. A little bit of crossfire coming out from A main too. And JT's been running this mid pretty much by himself. Mid vents, mid highway.
Yeah, I mean, Energy are deciding to leave, to leave middle and not really contest it. And he's able to now sneak up all the way to middle. And these guys are very vulnerable on the A side.
Yeah,
with not having anyone on highway. But it seems like they're wrapping on B now.
I was about to say, who was watching Tuckbox right there when he was just peeking and throwing nades? Like I was expecting JT.
Reaching out of checkers, yeah.
Oh.
And
Black Poison has to really get big.
Flexi in that position again. And they've got the entire B sides. And JT,
what was that?
That was insane.
What was that?
I heard the noise from stage all the way from here.
Yeah.
So that was a spectacular shot.
Oh my god, JT, you can't do things like that when we don't have you on cam, man. You cannot do things like that. That was crazy. Just took Black Poison's head off. And it wasn't even a body shot to kind of make it look... You didn't have armor, so... Oh my god.
Yeah, look, extremely aggressive play coming out from Bravado, and you can see the confidence is there. They're taking the moves, and I mean, look at this. He's just running around and picking off heads. So it's really, really strong T side coming out of Bravado here.
Watch this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, like.
It's like a surprise all of a sudden in the middle of your scope, you get shot in the head, and you'd half expect Black Poison to win though. It's like JT just obviously is a little bit quicker on the trigger there. It could have even been a pre-fire.
It definitely was a pre-fire. You're not going to catch off an open person that without without one. But yeah, really, really solid movement there from JT.
But I mean, I guess I'll ask you this during the break, but we'll kind of just lead up to right now as well in the final round of the half. I mean,
this is a lot of action that's about to unfold here in the middle. Black Poison with a superb flank, catches them off guard with the boost. He's got the AK now.
Oh, goes to the repeak.
Yeah.
Repeak might have been a little bit of a mistake there, but there was a player behind him, JT.
Yeah,
but
he didn't have much of an option but to try and get more success in that area. So unfortunate for him, but I mean, a nice little catch to...
Tagged up Sonic pretty hard as well, 6 HP on him, so close but no cigar. And JT just put his trust in his teammates that he could have turned back and looked for the refrag and possibly forced Black Poison into a tough position, but he hung out in middle and he's still chilling in middle here, and eventually will actually move to form the unit that's going to breach on A once again. And the question I was going to ask you, but we'll talk about it now, is again,
oh wow,
the pre-fires from Sonic this time, out through that door, gets the frag, and now Cannibalistic doesn't really have much to do here. 4 Bravado players on the site, and if he's going to be able to clutch, it's going to be something else entirely. With that smoke going down already on highway, flashing him out even more.
Yeah, he's got Dom coming around the other side, but the Bravado guys are definitely expecting some sort of flank. I mean, Elusive even covering the deep door area, so Dom's still walking in here to people that definitely are expecting.
JT's up there close, but JT's probably got the angle. Nice little pop flash though. JT will duck it. Knows exactly where Cannibalistic is now. Sonic brings down one. Oh, he wanted the knife. Cheeky BM there from JT.
Yeah.
But what could Energy have done different in that game? Was that just a case of Bravado just being so much better than them on this map, or were Energy messing up a little bit?
Personally, I think it was quite an interesting choice from Energy to play on Cash. I mean, this is definitely historically one of Bravado's strongest maps, and one where their structure is the most developed, and their T side has always been really, really solid. I mean, their breaches, that A breach, even if you're stacking 4 guys on it, it's extremely tough to contest with. Everything's just perfect. So I think this is a really strong map pick for Bravado. So I think in that regard, I'm not that surprised. But I think that reset, that money reset that happened really cost them some momentum. And once that snowball happens twice in a row, then it's very, very tough to recover from that, just from an economical point of view. And I don't think it's necessarily a lot of bad mistakes or anything, but Bravado are really playing on point here. Like I pointed out, the discipline, the structure, and they're producing the goods here have produced the goods on the T side. So let's see what they do on CT.
Well, yeah, once again, we reach that moment when we get to say that this pistol round is pretty much everything for Energy eSports right now. They did win the previous pistol, but then they got taken out in an anti-eco. So now this is a something that I was going to say might happen, this double boost. Well, they messed the double boost up, but they usually go for the double, the triple, take that highway control, and then obviously try to set up something on that A bomb site. Nice little smoke. I would like to follow that. No. I'll see it coming over from the side at least. Coming in there, blocking off that highway push, but 2 players boosted up now through middle and getting that control early on. They're not going to be met with those long-range USPs for the time being. Nice little smoke. They're going to go through defense. JT does take down
information and he's just pushing.
Oh, this was it. That was actually so well read from Bravado Gaming.
Well, I mean, It actually, for me, it looked like they were actually gonna get caught out there because they threw that highway utility. Looks, Sonic had information on A main, and they knew that Energy was going middle once they threw those smokes, and immediately JT went to actually peek for information by himself on B, and had he actually got picked off there, that situation becomes very, very different, and after that initial pick in A main and then one on B, after that the entire breach is just very disjointed, and Bravado pick up a couple of easy headshots.
I'm going to be really disappointed if I traveled all the way up here from Cape Town not to see a really exciting final. This ends 16-3. I'm going to be disappointed. Very disappointed. But right now, let's have a wait and see here. Flexi takes down Fady now, sending a headshot here. Just hoping for a little something at least. But Bravado are just cleaning up once again.
Another really strong flank here from Detrony, but I mean this isn't a save round, and they're gonna invest everything in this when once Bravado have 14. So couldn't expect too much here, but Bravado being really, really aggressive and yeah, taking control of this game.
I was just kidding.
Tuckbook managed to get a plant here, which is a huge deal.
Yeah,
and that is lovely. I mean that's where that overconfidence and aggression just cost you $700 on each player. So it's really nice sneaky plant there from Tuckbook. So,
but the climb from 3 to 14 goals.
I mean, people have done more with less, dude. People have done more with less. Never count anyone out. It's Counter-Strike. That's why we love it.
Yeah, and I was just kidding. I love being here.
Yeah,
I was just It's been a pretty awesome weekend, but I do want to see something other than a Bravado stompage. But I mean, we have been treated to some amazing CS here at the VS Masters. And Energy Esports, as Gold said, people have done more with less. So let's see if Energy can climb back. They've gone for a pretty big gamble here. A pretty big buy as well. Lots of util and the Tech 9s. Tuckbook has a Tech 9. He doesn't have one on CT Goals, which was a pretty telling factor. Oh, but that flash. Oh, Elusive not looking to commit just yet.
Elusive looking for that early information, and he's called in the rotations. He's spotted the guys. And look at BBD. As soon as they see the action on the side of the map, they're falling back into nice defensive positions. And JT probably going to just push B, but Energy choosing to execute straight onto the A side.
I mean, not even that. I'll point it out in a second, but once this round's done, but it's something just that it's like poetry there for a second. But Flexi opens it up there, takes down Sonic. Now they come bursting through one by one. Whack-a-mole for Detrony right now. And oh my god, what a cleanup there. Flexi left alive with the Tech 9, and just one by one, not enough support, unfortunately.
I just think the utility there was a little bit lacking. I mean, even Flexi now, he has a flash, and I'm pretty sure someone else at least had a flash or something. But you could just see that the Bravado guys just literally sat here and waited for them to come out, and just posting the angles with rifles. It's a very, very difficult position. One support flash changes that fight entirely.
Yeah, and that was it right there. When Bravado did that almost exact identical execute on their round, they had a flash accompanying that kind of dive through smoke, which is probably the most important thing right there, and we didn't see coming out from Energy Esports, despite perhaps having the utility. But
I mean, here they're hitting a really, really fast B, and BBD are posting it aggressively, so we should see some action relatively soon. It's a complete 5-man here, and look at your Bravado stacking towards that B site.
Well, Energy Esports right now trying to get us back on schedule, at least. 15-3, not what we expected at least, but another little good flashbang coming in there. They heard the step, trying to burst them down. It's not going to be enough. Tuckbook leading the front there with the Tech 9. Another pick from Sonic, actually. Goes for the third, doesn't get him down. But JT's there in a 1v3 for Cannibalistic to try and salvage something in this game for Energy Esports right now, because they're about to get 16-3'd in the winner bracket final. Something I think a lot of people here did not expect after their performance the other night. But this is LAN, this is pressure, this is pretty much everything right now for Cannibalistic. And that's going to be at 16-3 goals. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, look, I mean, I did expect a closer game, but at the same time, I really don't think this is going to matter that much to Energy. I mean, Bravado have got a map advantage now in the grand final. They do feel good. They've just dominated probably their toughest opponent here. But I mean, also I think Energy can take away knowing that, okay, we know that this is Cash. We know this is their strongest map. So going into the best of 5, they can actually land up playing on all the other maps and potentially just leave this one out. And they've got a really, really deep map pool. I mean, this was not one of the maps that Energy took off of BVD the other night, and I don't think it's going to affect them too much. At the end of the day, you got a lot of winners in both teams, and I really think they're going to come back a lot stronger tomorrow.
Well, let's hope so. Let's definitely hope so, as they will be meeting the winners of Damage Control and White Rabbit Gaming tomorrow. And I think that is going to be, I would say, probably the most exciting game of the entire tournament, outside of the grand final, obviously. But that White Rabbit Gaming is looking so strong at the moment.
Yeah, like I
DC.
didn't get to catch most of the games, but I mean, you know, DC have had played a lot of CS, a lot of overtimes, and you know, a lot of people are putting them to the test that we didn't, you know, think would be able to do so. And White Rabbit Gaming definitely coming out of nowhere and you know, challenging them. It's really, really impressive stuff. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's CS.
Well, we've got 3 matches coming up tomorrow. We've got the 2 lower bracket games, and of course the grand final, the best of 5, where Bravado have now just earned themselves a 1 map advantage. So Energy now going down, pretty much angry and ready to come back. But that will be it for myself and Goals tonight. And of course, we will see you all tomorrow for the first game of the day. But right now, it's back to the desk.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much, gents. That just happened.
That just happened.
That did just happen.
Yeah.
It was
more so one-sided than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought we were going to see a close game, but I don't know. Energy walked out of the booth smiling though, so I don't know.
going according to plan.
Maybe, we don't know. We don't know what's going on in their heads.
Going to give them the win and make them feel confident. Going to strike.
Yeah, maybe.
That was pretty brutal. I think the big thing that kind of surprised me about that map, so as was mentioned by the casters, that Cash is one of the best maps for BVD, but they just seem to, every time they threw something, right, if they threw out a utility, it landed in the perfect position. It always covered every particular angle. They were never, ever, like, except for like 1 or 2 rounds, ever caught off guard. Like, everything went according to plan for PVD there. So it was a masterclass, really.
Yeah, there was the first buy round where they bought the double up, where Energy did quite well. I mean, they stayed alive with about 4 players. And then they lost the very next round. So I think it was just from the get-go an economic struggle for Energy. They would win a round on a buy and then lose a round, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm looking at the previous results, right? And I think if I had to show you these results, if we go through it, Energy with Southern Tide 16-2, WG 16-4, Bravado easily taking down both APG and XC in similar fashion. But the scoreline we got here looked like just one of the others. Yeah. And that is, man, I mean, it's both impressive and terrifying at the same time. Yeah. So we'll see what an angry Energy can do, because they may have been smiling coming out the booths, but they're not going to be taking things very lightly going forward.
At least we know who our Kuma is. We know who the secret boss is. What secrets will you have to bring out to beat BVD in this kind of form? So I think this is, if we have to hope, right, or Energy has to hope, whichever team wants to play Akuma has to hope that their performance here was mostly down to their map knowledge and not simply their like pure understanding of everything. And what's terrifying is the fact that we know that Bravado has an incredibly deep map pool as well. So it's not unreasonable to expect that. I mean, they've played different maps every game until now. So it's not unreasonable to expect that this performance could be replicated effectively everywhere, which makes you think about a lot. What do you do? How do you beat this? I hate to bring back Dota one more time, but I remember the days when this feels like, you know, when BVD was dominant there, and every tournament was like, okay, guys, you can only do so much. What can you do, right, to try and beat them? And for the first half of this year in CS, we saw the same from Bravado. Like, right, the best you can do is hope for second, right?
Yeah.
And we saw Energy catching up, and I think after this week's showing that we saw at ESL, I felt fairly confident that they had made that catch up, and they actually had gotten to that point, but it doesn't seem like it just yet. It seems like Bravado was still...
I think it also comes down to a little bit of what Devin was speaking about, being LAN and online. There's a big difference. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't think I've lost any faith, and I think if we do end up seeing a BVD Energy final, that it's going to be good. I think Energy still have a lot of cards to play.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, if we do see it, we still have the challenger, White Rabbit Gaming. They're going to be looking down, take down DC, who obviously are our mini boss.
Yes,
and obviously DC themselves, they don't want to be counted out of this race. So
no,
there are still 4 horses to bet on. And I think we know where we would seed them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Bravado, who knows? Maybe they don't even face Energy in this grand final. But that would be something pretty special in its own right.
It would be, I must say, it would be quite a big upset if it's not an Energy BBD final.
Go WG, let's see it. WG
Give us the
Bravado.
upset we want.
Right, but I think we probably should start wrapping things off. So, no better way to close off the night than by once again, my trusty piece of paper, reading to you the statistics of that match in the end, and the prize winners. So, Bravado actually had 63.3% of the votes. So, looks like you guys knew pretty well on that one, and well. No further points will be awarded tonight for Snare and Recoil.
I should have gone against what you said.
You really should have.
I really should have.
You literally fought for it. Okay, enough of this.
Anyway.
Enough of this. You guys.
Oh, you guys.
Marshmallows ahead with 50. That's all I know.
That's the only thing that matters.
But what you're all waiting for, I'm deliberately taking my time with as I slowly caress the page. So, final winner is Vaughn the Vovo Roby. One's going to hopefully get your name right. And you've won yourself a USPS kill confirmed. Congratulations. It's a stat track as well.
That
so
definitely needs to come towards me.
That's going to Vaughn the Vovo Roby.
Ah, congratulations.
And Vaughn, you now have 6 points as well. So you're ahead of the panelists. Anyways. Oh, excuse me, sorry. But before, I've got people's hopes up. Sorry, it's not a stat track, actually.
Ooh.
So sorry. That's on me. My bad. But still, enjoy it. Okay, have 10 points. So that'll be that's what you get.
That'll be consolation.
Cool.
Can we just talk before we close? Can we just talk about Detrony, that game, and JT? That one.
There were some shots there.
There were just some shots which, honestly, if I was playing this game, right, I would have immediately pulled and said, vac hacks, instantly. There's just no way. There was that one shot where Black Poison was waiting with the AWP in the vents. So he has a clear line of sight, right? You would expect that 10 out of 10 times.
He was heaven.
He was on heaven, sorry, yeah.
He was heaven.
Like, a player on that caliber would be able to get that kill, but...
I mean, look at the shot.
Here you go. I mean, this is like from a movie, right? Where you see the sniper aim down the scope.
Oh my God, JT. What a player.
That shot there was just insane.
He definitely shot him through the scope.
Yeah, into his eye.
Yes,
yeah.
That's exactly right. And I think we have another one as well. So let's take a look at that in just a second.
I kind of feel like Bravado's performance in its entirety, especially in the latter half of the game, could basically just be a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like
this is the attempted knife, and then Connie gets the headshot with the deagle. There we go.
Oh my God, that was.
But I mean, it was definitely oh, here's a 4K. Oh, Detrony's 4K. Oh, this was pretty good. But they were pushing out of smoke.
Yeah, I feel like this
one by one. There was maybe a support flash. As Congo was saying, a support flash would have made the world of difference there.
Yeah.
Because then Detrony would have been blinded out of position, and they could have pushed the smoke. But unfortunately, they were just pushing one by one through the smoke. Even if they double peaked, then the trade could have come in. But unfortunately, that was not the case.
They were just outplayed. It's almost like Bravado knew exactly where they were. Like, none of those shots seemed like a surprise. It was just like, okay, Detrony was ready for all of them. And then the entire team converged, shot up everybody. And like you said, no support smoke to at least create a little bit of a diversion. It was just
support flash. Yeah.
It was just straightforward for Bravado. It looked like practice for them. It was amazing to see.
That was good.
Well, I got to say, this event has been full of surprises.
Oh, yes.
That just happened. That's how we just summed this all up. And I guess this just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Don't go anywhere tomorrow, because tomorrow's the day that you get yourself some coffee, maybe some popcorn and chips, whatever your go-to is, because it's going to be truly fantastic. And on that note, cheers and goodbye for now.